Danny Searle after Welling 1, Ebbsfleet 0. What's your take on that performance, Danny?
It was an interesting one, wasn't it? I think first and foremost, we've had some tough ones in the sense of coming out with injuries and knocks and niggles. We got through tonight unscathed, which is important. Second part to it was 90 minutes for some players that needed it. Important, got through that. The rest of it was, I'm going to be polite and say, not at the standards that we expect. I think that pre-season is about learning. We had a little bit of a lesson on Saturday from a certain type of dynamic. Tonight was a different type of dynamic. We're the one who had a lot of the ball, and it's just about that patience and that bravery. We just spoke around the dressing room about if we're gonna pass it, let's pass it with a purpose. We've spoken about that before. Let's make sure we want people who want to get on the ball and not hide. And when we get a chance, let's make sure we take it. I mean, we created quite a few chances tonight, but obviously we hit the post and Keeper made a couple of saves. But I think overall, listen, we're disappointed in the dressing room. It's a pre-season friendly, fair enough. But in the dressing room, we're disappointed by the level of the performance.
In pre-season, it's a bit of a balancing act. You do want to give players minutes on the pitch. You do want to give players a chance to show what they can do, etc., etc. But you also want relationships to form. Whether it's between centre backs or forwards or whatever it may be, and juggling that must be very difficult.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point. It's about relationships. We've started to see some, and we've tried to keep them together where we can. But obviously there's other players in there that we think, well, we haven't quite seen him play with him before, so we need to have a look because it might bring something out of him that we haven't seen before. So, look, like I said on Saturday, am I happy with what happened tonight? Of course not. But listen, those boys work hard every day. And again, we put another tough session on from yesterday. It's pre-season. This now dies down. Going into the Crawley, they get the rest that they probably need. We treat it like a normal Thursday, Fridays if we're going into a game situation. Whereas yesterday they're hitting 6 and 7 RPEs. Normally we're 3 or 4. So I understand we're a bit leggy, and I get that. But I think that even by those standards, we understand that we should be better than that. And that's a collective. Staff, players, everyone around us. We stick together. We haven't even started the season yet. I'm not going to start panicking about stuff, but there's a lot there to work on. There's a lot from Saturday to work on, but that's up to us now as a group to make sure we put those things right and so we can move on and we play against a very good Crawley side on Saturday.
You mentioned the Crawley game. That is the last of the pre-season friendlies. It's your last chance to, in a match situation, to experiment before the real thing starts at Gateshead the week after. Are you at this stage where you kind of expected and wanted to be, or are you a little bit ahead of schedule, a little bit behind?
No, I think that from a physical perspective, we're where we should be. We've hit them when we've needed to hit them. You probably saw there was times where we looked a little bit leggy tonight because there's thresholds that we want to hit. Now we can tailor that off a bit, so we can actually go right. So when we go into the Crawley game, we'll be a bit fresher. When we go into the Gateshead away game, we'll be fresher. But it's always difficult to tell because I've known teams that have smashed everyone in pre-season, won a weight pre-season, 7 or 9 or wherever they played, lose the first 5 or 6 games. I know teams that lose every game in pre-season, end up getting promoted or whatever the scenario may be. So I'm not going to read too much into the results. For me, it's about energy levels, it's about effort, and I think we were off it tonight from an effort perspective, and that was their words, not mine. They knew that we should have been at it a bit more than we were.
Before Saturday, you've got an open training session where the fans can come along and see the boys at work. Will they be surprised, do you think, at the amount of work you're going to put in, or is that going to be a regular training session or a demonstration? What sort of thing is that event going to be?
No, I think, and I don't mean it's disrespect for the people to turn up, because I've heard the numbers, it's fantastic they're coming. We need to do justice to them making the effort to come out, and we need to do it properly. So we're going to train as if there's no one there. And it's us doing our work that we need to do in preparation for a game and our physical work that we need to do. And then hopefully they get an insight into how hard the players do work and the energy levels they do put in and the tactical work that does go on. Obviously we won't do too much on Thursday because it'll be Friday where real tactical work goes in for the Crawley game. But look, we've had some great response from the fans on that one, and the kids are off school and it's a great opportunity for them to get to know the players a little bit more because we've obviously got a lot of new faces, and we'll treat it like that post the training session during the training session. Hopefully they'll get a chance to see the level of work that gets in on a week-to-week basis.
And after the training session, will fans have a chance to have a chat with you and get to quiz you on your thoughts about the new season?
Listen, the way we've set it up, everyone will get to have a chance to speak to everybody. So that's all the players as well, and gives them a chance to actually get a feel for it, because we talk about family all the time. We talk about us being a family, we talk about the staff being a family, we talk about us sticking together. Well, the supporters of the club are a massive part of that. Whether you work in the back office like the girls do, and Will and Damo, and we want to be a family. So them seeing how we work is a really important part of that, and the fans that turn up to get to know the players that are putting on their shirt every week and playing for their badge. It's important that they get to see that. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a really good day.
If I bring my boots, am I a bit too late for the team at Gateshead?
You might have gone tonight actually with some of our running. So, but yeah, no. Look, I think tonight was what it was, and as I said, we move on and we go again.
Well, good luck, and I'm sure everybody will look forward to seeing you on Thursday and again on Saturday
No
at Stonebridge Road.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Cheers, Chaz. Thank you. Top man.